You finally had the conversation. You said the thing, and halfway through, their face changed, and you heard yourself say it. You know what? It's not that big of a deal. You just taught them the standard is negotiable if they get upset enough. I spent over 20 years in the Air Force and corporate having these types of conversations, and I've caved plenty of times. So here's the rule, and everything today hangs off of it. The emotion is real and the standard doesn't move. Both of those are true at the same time. Most managers think they have to pick one. First one is they cry. And it's the one everybody's scared of. It's a fire alarm going off mid-sentence. Every instinct you have says, get out of the building. So you start talking. It's really not that serious. You're doing great overall. Let's just forget I brought it all up. And you tell yourself you're comforting them. You're not. You're comforting you. Here's the move. And it's going to feel wrong. Stop talking. Let it be quiet. Actually quiet. Not reloading quiet. And then when you do say something, it's this. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere. That's all. And notice what's not in there. No retraction. No forget I said it. You didn't move the standard an inch. And you also didn't leave them sitting in it alone. And that's the part nobody tells you. Being present isn't the same as agreeing. And staying quiet isn't the same as being cold. Now, let me be honest with you about this one, because I've been on the wrong side of it. Near the end of my career, I had an NCO in the Air Force working for me. Generally, he was one of the best technicians I ever had in my 20 years. But leading people, he couldn't do it. He would not hold his own people accountable. We'd been through this same conversation 4 or 5 times. And we've had the paperwork and everything. And he took every one of them professionally. Then one session was different. I watched his emotions starting to come up and well in his face. He knew where the conversation was going, and he didn't say much. And everything in me wanted to soften it, but I didn't. And it ended his career. But I would make the same call again, and I still think about his face. Here's what it taught me though. The second their emotion shows up, that's not when you find out whether you were right. You already knew if you were right. That's when you find out whether you meant it. Here's what's actually going on in that moment. You walked in there wanting 2 things. You wanted them to fix the problem, and you wanted them to still like you when they walked out. And for the first 2 minutes, you can have both. But what if their face changes? Then you can't. And right then, you've got exactly one lever you can pull to make the discomfort stop. It's the standard. Nothing else. Nothing else in the room is yours to give away. That's the whole mechanism. It's not weakness. And it doesn't mean you're bad at this. You just reached for the one thing within arm's reach. The problem is what it teaches. Because they'll remember, probably not on purpose, that the way out of a hard conversation with you is to have a feeling or have an emotion. So the next one's harder. And the one after that doesn't even happen at all. So let's walk through what sideways actually looks like, because there are only about 5 versions of it, and each one has a different move. And I'll tell you up front, the moves are the easy part. The thing that decides whether any of them work happens before you ever walk in the room. And almost nobody does it. So the second one is where they argue back. That's not fair, they say. Nobody ever told me that. Why am I the only one getting this? And just like that, you're the defendant in a case you brought. You came in to talk about 3 late reports, and now you're defending your entire approach to management. Watch the trap here, because it's a subtle one. some of what they say is going to be true. Maybe nobody did tell them. Maybe you have been inconsistent about it and your gut gives you two options: fight all of it or fold on all of it. Don't do either of them. Split it. You might be right that I haven't been consistent about this, and that's on me. Thursday by noon is still where we're going. 2 sentences. You took the hit that was actually yours to take. You didn't take the one that wasn't. And the standard sat right where you left it. And if the complaint is real, put it on the calendar. Let's talk about the consistency thing Friday. A real grievance deserves a real conversation. Just not this one, and not as a trade. Third one, the deflect. They'll point somewhere else in the building. What about Dave? Dave's later than I am. They just handed you a different file and asked you to work on that one instead. And if you open the file, if you start explaining why Dave's situation is different or worse, promising you'll go talk to Dave too, congratulations. You're now the scorekeeper for the entire team, and this conversation's over. The move is 1 sentence, and then you stop. I'm not talking about Dave, I'm talking about your reports. Don't soften it, don't explain it, don't apologize for it. Say it and go quiet. Most of the time, they find their own way back to the lane because there's nowhere else for them to go. Fourth one, and this is the one that gets most managers because it doesn't feel like it went sideways at all. Okay, yep, got it. It's flat. There's no eye contact. They agreed with every word, and you walked out of there thinking that it went pretty well. That's not agreement. That's a door closing. They've worked out the fastest way out of the room is just to say, okay, until you stop talking, and nothing about Thursday is going to be any different. So you name the wall, and you do it without accusing them of anything. You're saying, okay, but you don't sound okay to me. And I'd honestly rather hear the real version now than find this out on Thursday. That sentence does something almost nothing else does. It tells them that you noticed, and it tells them the honest answer is safe here. Sometimes you still get nothing back, and that's okay. At least it's marked. But a lot of the time, that's the exact moment the real conversation finally starts. One more. Because it does happen. They get loud, voice up, maybe standing, maybe it gets personal. You don't win this one. Nobody has ever won this one. It's a grease fire and you're standing there with a glass of water. I'm gonna stop us here. We'll pick this up at 2. Then you go. Not as a punishment, you're just not going to make a decision in there that you'll have to walk back tomorrow, and neither are they. Come back at 2. It's a completely different conversation at 2. Now, here's the thing I really need you to hear, and it's got nothing to do with what to say. Every single one of those moves is short. 2 sentences tops. That's on purpose, because the 5 seconds after somebody's face changes is not a thinking moment. Your heart rate is up, you're reading their expression, you're managing your own guilt about being the bad guy. You are not going to construct a thoughtful position in there. You're going to grab whatever's closest. So you decide before you walk in. 1 sentence written down before the meeting. This is the thing I am not trading today. Reports go out on Thursday by noon. That's the whole exercise. Whatever else happens in that room, tears, argument, Dave, whatever. Okay, yelling maybe. You can flex on the how, the timeline, the support, and the check-ins. You do not flex on that one line. It's not a script, it's a floor. And the only reason you need it is that you already know you can't be trusted to find one in the moment. I couldn't either. That's not an insult, that's just what that moment does to people. You've been carrying this idea that a conversation going sideways means you did it wrong. It doesn't. Sideways is just what it looks like when somebody realizes you meant it. That's not a conversation failing. Most of the time, that's the first real evidence it's actually working. And if you're sitting there thinking, my problem isn't that it goes sideways. My problem is I haven't had the conversation yet. Go watch this next video. That's the 4 moves for opening it. And you want those before you need any of this.